Hello everybody, this is Badger Wild, and we are here today with a wonderful tutorial video on how to build a turret that most of y'all are probably really interested in making right now. That turret here is this little number right here. This is the ball turret that you have been seeing being built all over YouTube at the moment. It is the new turret system. This is part of the warfare blocks. This has easily become the best of show right here, is the ability to build your own turrets. We thought railguns were awesome. We thought new weapons and cannons were going to be awesome. Oh no, it's the fact that we can build crazy creations with this. I mean, there's no way we can get overpowered with this nonsense. So what you're seeing right here is a autocannon, quad barrel autocannon ball turret. Now, you've probably seen these on other YouTubers showing these things off and telling you you're going to have to find a way in survival to do it. Well, fear not, my fellow engineers, because Badger's got you covered. I have been figuring out the best way to build one of these in survival with the idea of 3 criteria. Number 1, it has to be buildable in survival. Number 2, it has to be easy to do in survival, so that means anyone can do this. And 3, I want to be able to build it without another ship. So anyway, let's hop in here, and I just want to show off this nifty little turret. So yes, it does work quite beautifully. I press 1 here, and the turret will turn and move. I can control it all by myself. I can fire it all by myself. I can press 2, and I have access to it. The only problem I have with using the camera is I don't have a targeting reticule, but you can kind of figure out where this is. And if you got some ingenuity, you can probably come up with a way to get around that. Now, hopping out of this for a moment and turning on our tab menu here, it's decided to rain for some reason in the tutorial. So as we're going in here, let's figure out what it takes to build one of these things. Now I'm going to go through everything that you have to do just as soon as I fly back up here from falling off the platform. All right. First, you're going to need to start with a rotor, not just any rotor. You're going to need an advanced rotor, and we're going to need 2 of these. So we're going to, first off, figure out why I cannot place this. Because we did this a minute ago. What's happening here? There we go. You're going to need to place that. Yes, I used a jetpack. You probably can just build you a scaffold getting up there. Now, we've built our advanced rotor. The second thing we're going to need is our hinge part. Now, mind you, you are going to need to weld both of these up. And if you're, depending on where you want the turret to face, let's just say we want to shoot this way. Now, this is very important, and I'm going to go over here. Where my reticule is right now, this nice little lit up line right here. This has to be on the back end of your turret. This is the rear of it. This is what will determine whether it's the top. If you put your guns pointing out this way, everything will be inverted. Easiest way to do this is put this little tab back here and then build your cannons and mortars or guns or anything out this side. In this case, we're going to build this with Gatling guns because it will just be easier. Now, going back to the one menu, we're going to fly up here real quick for just this purpose, and we're going to grind down the center hinge here. And you can see we're already getting it to look like that hinge ball turret over there. Now, the next thing we need to do is, as you're building these, and when you build them individually, it's not a bad idea to go over here and set yourself down a control seat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hop in here, and this is very important. We are going to first look for our advanced rotor, which will be, it's calling itself number 3 because we've attempted to do this twice already. We are going to name this Turret 2, and that'll be our advanced rotor turret 2. This is important right here to label everything. Otherwise, if you just start slapping these things down without labeling them, you're going to have a very hard time getting everything put all together. Label it. It will save you a ton of time and headache in the future. Continuing on with our labeling of things, we're going to find our next hinge. You can see we got hinge turret number 1 there. We're going to make this one hinge turret number 2, and that's going to provide us everything that we need. Now, we know where the hinge turret number 2 is. Now to the part where you install a small hinge into this thing. So Next thing on the list, you are going to install another rotor. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to install this rotor system right here. And what we're going to do, you'll weld, I don't really know if you need to weld this up, but weld it up regardless. And then what we're going to do is we're going to delete this part right here. Now let's hop back down. Now you don't need to label this one as you're working on it because this is only a temporary rotor. Go back into your control seat and look for advanced rotor. Should be the one that doesn't have turret in it. And add small head. This is very important. Now hopping out, we are going to go back to this little area, and you can build a scaffold truck or something like this to do it without any of this stuff. This is just how to do it without a ship nearby, you know, holding your hand. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add one of these small hinges. Now, this is not going to have to bend. It's not going to have to move very much. It doesn't matter which direction this hinge is facing as long as it is parallel with the other hinge. Tap that on. Now we go over to number 5 here. And I'm going to pull out just some very basic armor blocks. As I can get them. Now, armor blocks on hinges takes a little bit. Once you get one on, you got it. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to hop down here. And these don't have to be welded up. I've done this without welding them. The important part is just having a scaffolding system to get in. But we're in creative mode, so things will automatically be welded. Now, dropping down here and moving up, we go back to our hinges. And I'm going to give you a little bit of carpentry knowledge here. We are going to attach this male end right here because this, what we have going on, is a female end of a hinge. We have now a male end. If you're trying to figure out why I have that terminology, just go to the dirty side of your mind and you'll understand why it's all happening. We install this hinge and weld this up. This hinge must be welded. These must be welded. This rotor over here, possibly you can get away without welding it, and these hinges here must be welded. The rest of this does not have to be. Now, we are going to head back over to our cockpit here. Go back into K. We are going to go up to our hinge. Where are we at here, buddy? Hinge turret 2. Now note we have the ability to add things. We are going to attach the turret or attach the hinge. So you simply press attach. And if it is confirmed, your attach button will be disabled and you won't be able to add a large head or small head hinge. Now hopping back out of this, we are now going to go over with the grinder. We are going to simply kill that. And if that's floating, you've done the job properly. After that, simply grind down everything that made that part, and voila, you have gotten the hinge. And this is the most difficult part of the entire build, is getting that tiny little hinge right in there. This is the hardest part of the entire thing. This is done. Now, I want to add some guns to this thing. That's what y'all have come to see, adding some more guns. So let's continue on here. All right, we attach this here. Because we want a full range of motion, and attach one conveyor line there and another conveyor line there. Now for our guns, we have these fancy new Gatling guns here. These are amazing. They spin. They're much longer than the original guns. They are beefy. I like beefy guns. I like big guns, and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Need to wrap that at some point. Anyway, here we go. We are now doing this, and we're going to run this in here with quad barrel or quad guns, just like we did the last one over there. And because this is part of the turret getting it done, this is just the most basic of what you are going to need. Now, for argument's sake, just so I can show off how you put the camera in, here is your last little bit. You have that go in. Press 9, and you want the camera. Now remember what we said before about this. You want this back here on the turret you want the camera wording on the camera to face back here on the same spot right here. So going from here up above, we want our camera to face like that. And we are finished. Now to show you how this thing works, regardless, we are going to get to that here in a minute. But first, we have to add some turret controls. So let me just add this turret controller here. Now we have everything set up. This will not work yet. We're going to have to put everything into the turret controller. So first off, let's head in here, press F, and here we have the turret controller. Now this is where everything, labeling everything is going to, you're going to realize just how easy this is. Because under normal circumstances, we'd have to find everything. But we don't have to here. Here's our azimuth, is going to be our turret. This is going to be the rotor, is always going to be the azimuth if you're building a ball turret. There's no other way to get around it. You're going to add that as rotor turret 2. Now, the hinge is always going to be the elevation rotor. We're going to make that hinge turret 2. We're going to assign a camera. Assign camera turret 2. So now we know where that is. If you do run into something and you realize, oh crap, I don't know what part I had, I don't know what I did. Easiest thing to do is grind one of them down that you're working on. It'll show up red within your control panel. Okay, so now the ball turret is pretty much complete. We just got to put the guns in place. Down here, now we have multiple guns, but let's get down here to Warfare Gatlin's. Grab that. Now shift and click. Add tool or weapons. And we're done. Now, we're going to hop back into our control seat. This is how you get the turrets controlled. We have a custom control turret 2. Throw that on there. And we're going to access control, but this does not give us the ability to see what we're shooting at. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add camera. And we're going to require that to be seen. Now, I access this. We can see out of the turret. See what it's doing. And you can see it just hurling ammunition out of it. You can see us just destroying stuff at the same time. Let me show you how this thing works. Just firing off. We are working it. Everything is operational. All guns are firing. This has become the nightmare of any air raider coming in because it's just this is literally almost the same amount of guns you put on a fighter to attack something. If we can just slip it on by here and hit this. Yes, yes, look at that. Destruction. Now, if you want to fill this thing in, you can fill it up with all the stuff, but I want to show people right here. It does not require you to connect this in any way to anything else. You can do that. You can add some stuff in the center if you want to make it look like it's connected. That's totally up to you. But yeah, this is pretty much how you get these ball turrets built. They're fairly simple. Like I said, within it probably will take you just a few more minutes of building, besides what I've been doing right now. You can set your turrets up. Once you get in, it's a simple setup with the controller. You can put these in. But having a couple of ball turrets sticking off of your ships, I'm probably going to put one of these on the Sentinel class just to see how it functions, because I kind of want to see how effective that is at dealing with small fighters or other ships. As usual, everybody, my name is Badger Wild, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, everybody, play smarter, not harder. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.